On the 21st of June 2025, heartbreaking news emerged from Mount Rinjani on Indonesia's Lombok Island. A young Brazilian woman fell from a cliff along the volcano summit trail at an altitude of about 3,000 meters. Although she initially showed signs of life, bad weather and a series of rescue delays meant that her body was only found 4 days later, deep in the ravine below. The victim, 26-year-old Juliana Marins from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. She had embarked on her dream journey across Asia in February 2025, traveling through the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam before finally arriving on Lombok Island, Indonesia. At around 6:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 21st of June, Juliana joined 5 other travelers and a local guide for a 3-day trek up Mount Rinjani. Their plan was simple: hike from Sembalun village through tropical forests to a campsite overlooking the crater lake on the first day, summit before sunrise on the second, then descend on the third while enjoying the spectacular scenery. But the weather quickly turned bad. Dense fog rolled over the mountain, obscuring the stunning views Juliana had hoped to see. The next morning, the group continued their ascent along one of the most dangerous parts of the trail, a narrow ridge of loose volcanic gravel, flanked by steep cliffs on both sides. Exhausted, Juliana decided to stop and rest while the guide led the others ahead. Moments later, tragedy struck. She slipped on the unstable ash-covered path near the crater's edge and fell off the cliff. Nearly an hour passed before the guide realized what had happened and hurried back. To their relief, Juliana was still alive. Her faint cries for help echoed from below the canyon. Rescue teams arrived at around 2 p.m. But progress was painfully slow. The rugged terrain, thick fog, and unstable slopes made the mission extremely dangerous. Even with 50 rescuers deployed, the operation advanced at a crawl. They estimated she had fallen around 300 meters, but when they reached that depth, they found nothing, and her voice had gone silent. The following day, park officials launched drone searches, confirming that Juliana had fallen even farther. Thick fog continued to block visibility and even interfered with thermal imaging. Rescue leaders explained that the soft volcanic soil made it nearly impossible to descend safely using ropes. On the 3rd day, rescuers finally spotted Juliana again. She had fallen deeper still, making the descent even more treacherous. Then came another setback. Severe weather forced them to suspend the operation. As days passed, Juliana's family grew desperate. On the 4th day, rescuers resumed the mission, equipped with nearly 2,000 meters of rope and supported by a helicopter. They descended approximately 600 meters into the ravine and finally found her, beside a volcanic pit. But it was too late. The young woman whose voice had once echoed from the depths was gone. The tragedy sparked widespread public outrage. Juliana's grieving family publicly condemned the mountain guides and Indonesian authorities for their slow response, claiming that if rescue efforts had begun within the critical 7-hour window, she might have survived. Mount Rinjani's beauty is undeniable,